Hello everyone, welcome to Fullmoon Movies. I just recently watched Joker Folie, Deux, and this is my take on the movie or musical. I get it. As an audience, you might have expected a Joker movie with drama and action, and it might not have met your expectations. However, when I watched the movie for the first time, I noticed something interesting about Joker's actual character throughout the movie. As the start of the movie, the cartoon scene of Joker shows the prelude, which captures the point on the duality of Arthur and Joker. Joker struggles between his exterior image and his inner self, which is in tatters or broken. However, while Joker makes a good use of Arthur, when the cops come, he leaves Arthur behind to be beaten up by the guards. Now, this sets the premise for what this movie is about: the struggle of a man with a personality disorder. In the asylum, Joker does not resurface. Instead, we see only the shy, weak Arthur, played by Joaquin Phoenix. The guards don't treat him as Arthur, but only despise him for his popularity as Joker. The situation is so crude that one of the guards wants his signature in a book, just because it will be worth a lot of money when he gets executed. Now, this reflects Arthur's disappointment with the lack of empathy from the people around him, including the guards. The duality of pain and pleasure can be seen in this movie. For example, the scenes of him walking in the rain and enjoying the raindrops falling over his face show the little moments where he gets to be himself, like a child enjoying nature. A contrasting moment appears when he stands in the rain tied to a gate as a punishment by the guards. Now, this time he does not enjoy it, but in fact cries out with laughter. Arthur experiences the duality of pleasure and pain from the same environment. There are some critics about the slow movements of the scenes, which can be visually dramatized, the unspoken narration of how Arthur really feels. Now, the camera work, cinematography, lighting, art design, music, and direction are well done in this movie, so one really can feel the effort that went into it. As a person who has watched a lot of Tamil Indian movies, I would say that having music is nothing unusual for me. Now, in fact, I have always enjoyed the visual storytelling in musicals. In fact, they allow audience to enjoy the movie on an even deeper level. So one might ask, what's the big fuss of having a musical experimentation in this movie? So I would say probably the take on the producers who maybe wanted a different approach for this movie. There have been plenty of successful musicals on themes like romance, friendship, and coming of age. However, was there ever one about personality disorder and the struggles of those dealing with shortcomings? It's not really surprising they decided to try it with Joker. However, they might have avoided the harsh criticism if they had told the audiences upfront that this would be a movie with musical scenes meant to push the narrative to a deeper level. Therefore, audience expecting a Joker action flick might have been better prepared for the movie. Ironically, most Joker fans wanted to be entertained, but just like the end of the story, they were really disappointed. But Joker isn't dead. Now, another interesting part of this movie I noticed is the courtroom dilemma. Now, there were some critiques about the many court scenes. The question here is that 80% of the movie is about societal dilemma on both sides. While one side believes he deserves punishment for his murders, the others see him as their heroes, a just character who understands the pain of the less privileged. In fact, when his lawyers or therapists encouraged him to justify his murders by blaming Joker, they gave little attention to Arthur, who had an abusive childhood. Many times during the trial, the focus was entirely on Joker's personality rather than Arthur. In fact, they failed to recognize that Joker is simply the other side of the same person, Arthur. I think Arthur would have been happier if his lawyers did not really argue about the murders, that he actually should take responsibility for them. Now, if Arthur had received proper attention or intervention earlier in his life, he might not have needed to seek refuge in this Joker persona. Now, that should have been the key argument. That is why, near the end of the trial, Joker breaks the fourth wall, looking at the audience through the camera and says that Arthur is responsible for the murders. This acknowledgement suggests a merging of Arthur and Joker's identities. However, I don't believe Joker's persona overtakes Arthur completely. This is also what disappoints Lee Quinzel. She wanted Joker to break free from Arthur. She only wanted to live with Joker, not Arthur. So this is why in the final staircase scene, when they meet, Lee looks disappointed in him, even though he has escaped. There are many moments in this movie that talk about hope. The movie isn't all that gloom or doom. For example, there are moments of hope for Arthur. The jail scene where Lee tells Arthur that he will become a father gives him a glimmer of hope. Another moment occurs in the court scene with Puddle, where Joker shows some level of sympathy for him. Now, this scene was really hard for me to interpret at first, but I realized Puddle represents hope, a good person who doesn't judge Arthur but understands his shortcomings. Arthur, however, disappoints Puddle, which symbolizes a loss of hope. Another realistic moment occurs after the courtroom explosion, when Joker's fans try to save him, preserving him for their cause. Now, this is a crucial scene, as it shows Joker himself running away from his impersonators. Now, this could be the point where Joker realizes that he isn't really ready to lead a revolution, much like what was depicted in the first film. The political stance of both Joker movies is hard to ignore. They touch on the bottled up pressure of society and the desire for a strong, bold figure to challenge the system. However, the story warns that such figures often lack perfect solutions. If the movie had focused more on Lee's true intentions, it could have provided more reliable backstory for Heath Ledger's Joker, a persona that highlights societal behaviors during crucial times. The psychopath who takes over Joker's persona is actually a warning. For example, if you lose control of your feelings, others may exploit your weakness for their benefit. Now, this actually highlights the importance of reconciling with your mental state in a chaotic world. As for the Blu-ray copy of this movie, I decided to go with the Steelbook version, even though Joker 2 wasn't well received compared to the previous movie. However, not only did I like the movie, but I also appreciated the message the filmmakers were trying to convey. The ending of this movie for me conveys the loneliness and innocence of Arthur's end with his misery, while the bold, aggressive Joker continues to entertain his fans. This introspection raises a question: is the audience need to see Joker perform merely to fulfill their desire for entertainment? Was this filmmaker's true intention? To make the audience realize this? However, this resulted in the movie failing at the box office. While it may have lost its entertainment value, did it really fail in showing who Joker really is? The musical scene, in fact, pushes the narrative further, showcasing not just extensions of Joker's or Arthur's personalities, example the prison scenes and For Once in My Life song. In fact, meeting Lee makes Arthur happier for once in his life. Lee Quinzel, played by Lady Gaga, appears briefly at the start of the film in the corridor when Arthur is taken away by the guards. There is this moment where he realizes there is someone in the asylum who accepts him for who he is. However, I don't believe Joker's persona overtakes Arthur completely. This is also what disappoints Lee Quinzel. She wanted Joker to break free from Arthur. She only wanted to live with the Joker, not Arthur. The ending aligns with the death of Arthur as an innocent and lonely character. If you notice, the scene where the psychopath tells a joke before stabbing Arthur highlights the point that Arthur or Joker was a really disappointment. The psychopath doesn't see Joker as the bold, authoritative, violent figure whom he saw in the TV show. He decides that Arthur doesn't deserve to carry the Joker's face anymore. This is why the psychopath stabs Arthur many times, then slashes his own mouth, mimicking Joker's iconic laugh, while Arthur lays on the ground, succumbing to his final breath. Interestingly, it makes me wonder if the psychopath who takes over Joker's persona was part of a plan by Lee. In the musical scene, if you notice, before this, Joker sings to Lee that he wants a fine son to take over his place. So, was the courtroom explosion orchestrated by Lee or a random Joker movement? I'm not sure. Now, for those who didn't like this movie, was the joke on you? Tell me more about it in your comments. Are you not entertained? Now, as for the Steelbook, I like the contrasting looks of Joker and Lee on both sides. The Steelbook has a green metallic matte finish. However, I would have preferred more artwork rather than just the two of them. Perhaps an image of Arthur would have been more fitting, as this movie is more about him than the Joker. The retail package of this 4K release of this movie consists of 2 discs. One is the 4K Blu-ray format of the movie, while the other is the 1080p format. It also includes special features, for example, Everything Must Go, Can I Have a Cigarette, Finding Lee, 100 Films in One, King of Nothing, The Character of Music, Crafted with Class, Colors of Madness, Life with Joker, and other extras. In fact, if you watch the special features, you would have a better idea what this film is about. Now, this movie is a must-watch. As 2024 comes to an end, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who has watched, liked, shared and subscribed to my channel. Your support means the world to me. Now this year, Fullmoon Movies reached 325 subscribers, a milestone I'm truly grateful for. My goal is to grow our community to 500 subscribers by mid-2025, and with your help, I believe we can make it happen. So far, I have uploaded 602 videos and I'm committed to bringing you even more engaging content in the future. If you enjoy my videos but haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated and all the latest uploads. I don't usually remind viewers in every video, but if you have been watching without subscribing, I would really love to know how I can engage you better with my videos. So drop me a comment or message. I really would love to hear them. Now, thank you once again for being part of this wonderful journey. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you a joyous holiday season and all the best for an amazing 2025.